Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ladi Yakovo. Now, one of the most common misconceptions about listening is that it is the same thing as hearing. However, this is not the case at all. As a matter of fact, knowing what the difference between hearing and listening is can significantly enhance your communication skills, your relationships, and your overall understanding of the world. Which is why in today's video we are going to be delving into the disparities between hearing and listening. We are going to be discussing how they are different. Now, think of it this way: can you hear without listening? Can you listen without hearing? The answers are yes and no, respectively. Now, this is because hearing is a vital part of listening, but listening, on the other hand, is an active process that takes time and effort. Hearing is an involuntary process that does not require conscious effort. As a matter of fact, hearing occurs when your ears pick up sound waves being transmitted by the speaker. Now, when sounds are produced near a person, sound waves are collected by the outer ear. They then pass through the ear cavity and fall onto the eardrum, introducing vibrations. So these vibrations are then sent to the inner ear and converted into electrical signals. The signals are then carried into the brain for interpretation. This process is unconscious and one does not even have to engage the brain to hear voices. An example of hearing is when someone wakes up in the morning. Take for instance, during this time, there may be different sounds. Maybe birds are chirping, cock crowing, or even cars honking, and then your alarm is beeping. However, you would not, have to pay attention to all of the sounds. Rather, you can choose to just pay attention to only one that interests you, and that could even be the sound of your alarm, and then ignore all other voices. But unlike hearing, listening, on the other hand, is an active and intentional process. It involves the physical act of, perceiving sound, and then the cognitive and emotional engagement that is required to comprehend and then interpret the information being conveyed. So listening is an active choice to focus our attention and then use our mental faculties to make sense of the sounds that we hear. In other words, we can say that listening goes beyond the surface level perception of sounds and seeks to extract meaning, understand the context, and then understand the speaker's intent. So bottom line is, hearing and listening are quite different. Hearing is when your ears pick up sound, while listening is when you pay attention and try to understand what that sound means. So hearing happens automatically except for the deaf, but listening, on the other hand, requires you to think and process. Like if I clap my hand, for instance, you hear it, but for you to know why I'm clapping, you have to pay attention to see what I'm doing or why I am clapping. So you see, it's possible for you to hear someone talking and not know what the person is talking about. That is why sometimes you find yourself in a place, other people are talking somewhere else, and then somebody comes to meet you and say, please, what is that person talking about? You say, I don't really know, I wasn't paying attention. Do you now see? You were hearing the person talking, but because you weren't listening, you don't know what the person is saying. So can you now see that there's a parallel line between hearing and listening? But I also have to add that to actively listen, you have to first of all hear. That is why in the beginning of the video, we talked about how hearing is a very vital part of listening. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for staying with me to the end, and I hope by now you are able to tell the difference between hearing and listening. So until I come your way next week, thank you for watching, and please like this video and subscribe.